Hello and welcome to AEX Advanced Training Session. In this session, we will see the AEX capabilities and functionalities with generative AI to understand how AEX works with generative AI. On the screen, you can see the GenAI Studio that we use to configure generative AI in AEX. Let us start with the first sub-console, that is, Settings. In the Settings tab, you can see the four options that require admin inputs. In the API endpoint, we need to mention the license endpoint, which we use for integration of large language model with AEX. In API key, we need to mention the license key that we will get after the procurement of license. We have chosen the OpenAI Azure LLM. We have different models available, like GPT 3.5, GPT-4, and the other segregation of the same model. In general instructions, we need to mention all the instructions that we want our generative AI model to follow. Generative AI of AEX understands the natural language input. Once we enter the instructions, we need to click on the Add icon. Similarly, we need to add all the instructions to train the model. Once we have entered all the instructions, we need to save the instructions. We are now ready to use generative AI. Then we have the Knowledge Source tab. In this, we can enable the knowledge source for AEX. Suppose, we have our knowledge base located at ServiceNow, we just need to toggle the button in order to integrate the knowledge base with AEX. Once we toggle it on, we have all the articles available at knowledge base integrated with AEX generative AI. Then we can click on Save. The configuration will be saved. In the Deployed Model tab, we can see all available models that we can use for deployment. At the top, we can see two buttons. In Add New Model button, we can create a new model for the usage of generative AI. After clicking on it, we need to enter the name of the model that we want to assign, followed by the model type that we want to allocate for that model. The model visibility is bases on the LLM model, selected in Settings tab. Once you are done, click on Deploy button, and your model will be available in the Deployed Model tab. In Deploy Default Models, it will deploy the entire default model that are available while configuring the environment. In Chains tab, we can create new chains or can edit the existing chains. For creating new chain, we can see the option of Add New Chain at the top right of the screen. Once we click on that, a new window will open. We have to fill the name, as it is a mandatory field. If we want to add other details, we can do that but not mandatory. We can add description in the Description tab. In the Variation tab, we can add the different variation for the particular chain. The variation are used for user input of the query. Click on the Add icon to add the variation. We can add any number of variation of the particular chain. Once we are done with chain creation, we can create tasks in chains. To create task, you can click on Add Task option. After clicking, you can see on the left that new task has been added. To edit the task, click on Open. It will open the new task window. You need to provide the name of the task, and the type of task you want to edit. Let's select Action with Prompt. After clicking, you need to define what prompts you want to create. You have to define the details for the prompt in human language. AEX will create a code based on the user input. Once you are done with the task, you can click on Create button and it will create the chain along with the tasks. This was all about GenAI Studio. Thanks for watching the video.